this week. You built a blower car.
Oh yeah. So the red Camaro, we did. This gentleman named Micah stopped in a while back and was like, "Hey, I bought this Vortec V3 and was wondering if you guys could install it." And I'm like, "Sure, of course." So we got it, and then he's like, "All right, now I want to do a cam too," and I got these headers and stuff. So, anyways, typical. We did a red hot BTR cam in it, which was the first one we used with a blower. We've done a couple NA ones. So we did the red hot cam from BTR, the newer one, and then we installed the Vortec and put a catch can on it, a fuel system, a fuel pump. Put a fuel pump and injectors. Then we did the headers and Cook's catted intermediate pipes. And then, we ran it on the dyno and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it made 620 and 630 wheel back to back on 93 octane. It's a stick shift car. I think it's only making like 5 pounds of boost. It has a pretty good sized pulley on it. I can't remember which size it was. So we'll probably wait and let him put some miles on it. It's going to need a clutch for sure. It still is a stock clutch. I don't know how it's hanging on decent in there, but that's why I told him, like, I'm not going to keep beating the crap out of it on the dyno. You might as well enjoy it a little bit. So we'll probably put a twin RST McLeod in it so it still drives well. And then when we do that, maybe we can drop the pulley size and grab a couple more pounds of boost and get it closer to 7 and leave it be. Usually they, on pump gas on our dyno, usually high 6s to low 7s on 6.2 liter is pretty close to the end of where you want to run 93 on it. Some guys claim higher, some guys whatever, but dyno numbers are all irrelevant, just because they vary. So yeah, it'll be a pretty cool car. It definitely makes some jam. Sounds cool. Probably get them in here once we do the clutch, and probably get them in here and do a paint correction on it and make it really shine. It's a nice color on there, so probably do that. But yeah,
I was looking at that when it was on the dyno. I was like, this needs a good polish.
That's what I was like. Hey, I'm not trying to be offensive, but we can definitely polish this thing right up. And he's like, yeah, as soon as I financially recover from this hard hit. I was like, yeah, no doubt. So yeah, it's gonna be a cool car. So we got it wrapped up the other day. We'll throw some videos in here and you guys can check it out. And then kind of do a walk around to the car when I pull it off the dyno and stuff. And
the Vortec kit looked pretty effortlessly. Like, it didn't look like you guys had to drill any holes or do anything. Like,
it did good. There's a couple pieces of hardware missing, which just could have been the shipper that day. But we improvised with some more. There's one bolt we got to get, the one behind the alternator that were behind the belt to the alternator, because they send a button head, and it's like I forget what it was, like an M20 by 90 millimeter, whatever it was. It was like, oh shoot, we can't find one of those local. And so we just cut a bolt in half just for now so that we can get it going.
Yeah.
But the proper bolt would be good in there just in case the belt kind of slides around. It doesn't ever catch that ridge of the bolt.
How many of those have you guys have done? I think you've done quite a few of the torch storms and Trifcos, but
Vortex? We've done one other Vortex since we've been here. I did a couple of them when I was in the old shop. A couple on the vets. We did a lot of the A&A Corvette kits and did a couple of those. But no, it's weird. Like I've told people before, maybe it's just because it's a smaller area and stuff. We don't do a lot of blowers. We've done more blowers in the last year than we ever have. So it's pretty cool. I used to always do turbo stuff, and it's anymore. I don't have time to fabricate turbo kits on cars. It costs so much, and then if you don't buy a nice turbo kit, you have a really crappy turbo kit, and then you're constantly fixing it, and it doesn't make power, and it melts plug wires, and so we don't do a lot of turbo kits anymore. And actually a lot of the factory PCM stuff, when people call them, they're like, we did our own. I'm just kind of like, I don't really have any interest in it, honestly. Just there's so much upkeep and so much follow-up, and there's always stuff going wrong, and it's like, not really my favorite thing to work on anymore. The blowers are nice. You don't have to mess with them.
Turbo cars seem like that's one of the things you'd want to learn to tune yourself so that you can constantly monitor.
Well, they'll buy a bunch of cheaper wastegates and cheaper blow-off valves, so they're constantly like, I only made 4 pounds of boost today. I made 12 today, and it's like, yeah, that thing's gonna blow up eventually, and it's gonna make me look really bad.
I made 21 now.
Yeah, and it happens a lot, and it's like, if it's a nice kit, and someone did a good job, absolutely we'll do it. But I don't know, there's too many cheap components floating around the internet, and then everyone thinks that they're gonna get a nice kit for X amount of dollars, and this is not true. It's expensive to build them properly these days. You take a blower that's $6,500 to $9,000, and you think, damn, that's a lot of money for what you get, but it's not, because it bolts on in 10, 15 hours. Nothing melts, nothing pops off, nothing comes loose. You know, it's like, then go and buy a nice turbo kit. So it's like, I'm not talking about the $3,000 turbo kit. I'm talking about buy a $2,000 or $3,000 turbo, buy a $500 or $300 to $500 wastegates, and then buy a blow-off valve, and then buy a nice set of $1,500 headers, and then fabricate a nice kit, and then buy a nice, you know, $500 to $1,000 intercooler. Is like, it's not cheaper. So as soon as you say, I'll do a turbo because it's cheaper, it's like, you're not buying a very good turbo kit. I'm not trying to be offensive, because you can definitely do more with less, but when you work at a place like this, or you own a place like this, and people come to you and want you to build their car, it's because they either A, don't have the time and they do have the knowledge, or B, they don't have a clue what comes into it. So then you're basically, you know, walking them through the whole process, and then once they get it back, you're walking them through the process again, and it's just like, it's tough. So the turbo kit stuff, I just kind of weaned out and kind of got away from. I don't have the time to, not to be rude, better terms, babysit the whole time you have a car. Like, I can't do that. We have too many customers now. So I said the blower stuff's nice. It's like, you put it on, you tune the car, and it's ready to rock.
And on the street,
more torque, quicker acceleration, less heat under the hood. They're a lot better.
turbos have their place. Like,
Yeah,
to me,
absolutely.
turbos are meant for the racetrack, and then like blowers and high compression NA stuff's more street stuff.
And like I said, I mean, they're cool. I just, it depends. I just have discovered how much follow-up they take, and I just don't have time for that stuff anymore. We got too much stuff going on. It's tough. But yeah, we'll throw some videos in here, you guys, and check it out. It's just been a while since we sat here and chit-chatted, so Dick was like, let's just make a video sitting here. I was like, alright, sounds good. But yeah, we'll throw some videos.